Northeast Regional.
Right.
He finished 7th at the U.S. Open. But he, you know, this is his first year in the freestyle circuit. He won the Bill Farrell International, which is obviously a tough international competition.
He's big as a house for this weight. He was a 97-pounder in college.
Right, he is very big. I think with him, the more experience he gets, the more dangerous he gets, because he has the capability of knocking off these top-level guys. It's just we haven't seen him put it together against all of them consecutively.
Right.
So that's one thing to watch out for him. And you know, Gavin, he's Keith Gavin. You know, he's made the world team. He's right there. He could make it again today. He's got some slick stuff, very smart.
Drags.
Yeah, his drags are top notch.
Both sides.
When he scores, it's so quick. I mean, that's what he has to his game. It's quick, it's effective moves, and it's unconventional. As well.
I feel like Keith Gavin has been a monster for years, and he's always under the radar. He was an undefeated national champion.
Under the radar, absolutely.
Yeah. And he's made the world team, you know. And there's that drag. Almost had the angle there. Perry able to square up.
Well, and I'd like to know how many times he's been in the finals. I can't recall off the top of my head.
And he was in the finals last year. He's an U.S. Open champion last year, beating Clayton Foster. He's done it all. Spin time down at 74. There's a shot from Gavin.
Close to the edge, and here's where you could see a strength advantage perhaps for Perry.
But I think Crate was, oh wow, I thought Gavin might have changed the direction there and got the step out, but no, they're gonna go one for Perry. And this is, with them letting in 2 wild cards, this gave Gavin a first-round matchup. He should have had a bye. They let in this extra guy, and not only do you not get a bye, you get Richard Perry.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, he's the lowest seeded guy in this weight class. That speaks to the depth of the 86-kilo weight class. Right. Like you mentioned, Keith Gavin's going to get the winner of Chris Perry and Clayton Foster, which are who are your 2 wild cards in this weight class. And the 2 wild cards are the 4 and 5 seeds.
Yeah.
And neither one of them, place at the Open or
now
or
Gavin going to strike back with a step out of his own. And what Gavin lacks with the size and strength, immaculate positioning, he can take around. He's not, I mean, there's no way he's as strong as Richard Perry, but he can move you around because his positioning's so good, great head position.
Right.
He can battle in those ties.
Well, good technique is going to beat strength any day of the week.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt to be strong while you're having the good technique.
Yeah, that's when it gets dangerous. So Perry, so far, only scored off of that initial step out. Hadn't really been able to get to his offense. Not really much offense going for Gavin either. He's worked for a drag a couple times. Underhook left side, and they're gonna. And that's it for the first. I think I thought the first was already over. I lost track.
Definitely
there.
not.
No.
Definitely not, Christian. Yeah, it's an interesting first period for me.
A little feeling out.
That's what it looked like. It looked like maybe, I mean, obviously we see that Perry might have the physical strength edge and Gavin the technique, motioning edge.
Right.
But
neither guy really pulling the trigger.
Yeah, no one's pulled the trigger yet. That's the problem here. We haven't seen anyone deep on a shot at him, so we don't know who's going to come out. Right now, as it sits, Gavin does have the criteria at 1-1. It's definitely not going to stay there.
Right.
Neither have been put on the shot clock either.
And I think we're going to see a passivity warning potentially against Perry here.
Right. I mean, if we're looking at who's taking ground in the match, who's controlling positions, it's more Gavin than Perry.
Right. Nice. Double switches to a single. Now head outside. Now Perry looking to expose here. Now it's Gavin working for that finish, and he's getting height with that leg. Wow. Now that's some strength there to pull up that leg like that, and he's going to get the 2 on the takedown. And now looking high gut, going to get it. Keith Gavin. It was only a matter of time.
There you go. He blows the doors wide open.
Oh, and they're going to go 4 on that initial score. because he got height with that leg and then a high gut for 2 more. So 7-1.
Yeah.
They're going to challenge that, and I think you got to challenge it because a 6-point lead for Keith Gavin, he put the
6 points as opposed to the 4 points is a big difference.
Huge difference there.
But yeah, initial impressions, I thought Gavin definitely got some exposure off that single leg when he elevated.
Yeah.
So you can look at it a couple ways. Did he elevate it enough where it was a feet to back, which would be a 4-pointer? Was it a takedown, then he got the additional exposure, which would be 2-2, or did he get the exposure with the takedown while Perry was on his knees, or not on his feet, I should say, then that would be just a 2. So
and look at this height. Perry's on the ground now, but now he gets him high.
Look, this is
feet on the ground.
That's going to be a 2 and a 2, I believe.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. And then an additional 2. And it's hard to tell from that particular angle. I think he's got 6. I think the score's correct.
Okay, okay.
Now, the only thing you could question is that first exposure. We're going to take another look at it here. Taking another look at it. Perry hits. And that's going to be the determining factor here. Did he expose after he hits on the takedown? And I think he did, and that's going to be what's called. So it's going to be an additional point on the board for Keith Gavin as Richard Perry going to lose the challenge, now down by 7. But I think that's a good challenge by Perry. You got to take the risk there. Whether it's 6 or 7, you know, point deficit, that's not as big of a deal. You're going to have to score points in bunches.
There's another shot attempt there. And now going big. For a moment there, it looked like Perry was thinking about double overs.
As time runs out, Green with an exciting come-from-behind victory on mat number 1 for the Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, and of course, the Nebraska Wrestling Training Center as well.
So now if you're Perry, you got to look to set something big up. I mean, at this point in the match, you got to take some risk. You're going to put yourself in danger by taking those risks.
But you're already in danger.
You're already
7 points.
You're down by 7. You got to go.
There's a shot from Gavin. Good hits from Perry. Blocking him back there. Clayton Foster, Chris Perry coming to mat 1. There's a shot off the mat. 1 more for Keith Gavin. He's got a little bit of a cut on his head.
So they're going to
clean him up.
Yep, looks like they're going to wrap him up. Like you said, Foster Perry going on mat 1 right now. And that was one that was tight last year. Perry won in the true 3rd match.
To make the national team.
Right, to make national team. And this, of course, after Foster came in as, we thought perhaps he could be the guy.
Yeah.
He's been that good.
It's Clayton Foster in blue on mat number 1. His opponent from the Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, Chris Perry, 86 kilos, quarterfinal bout. Both Foster and Perry, both former LSU Cowboys.
Gavin must have a nice cut there. Looks like we've got them all wrapped up, ready to roll for this last minute or so. 86 kilo first round match. And 1-1 first period, but it's been all Keith Gavin here in the second as he's going for another takedown on the edge.
Yeah, they could go.
That's going to be fleeing.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Well, it's better than getting taken down and the match is over. So it's 10-1 now. Point away for Gavin. Nice re-attack, high single, and that's going to do it. 11-1 final. Keith Gavin rolling on. Going to be taking on the winner of this Perry Foster match, which is scoreless. A minute and a half in. on mat 1. And we're going to have Duran win